I am at the Baker Lake Trailhead in Great Basin National Park in eastern Nevada, and it is August 1st, 2018. The plan for today is to hike about 5 miles up Baker Lake Trail, and Baker Lake sits at about 10,000. We're starting at about 8,000, so there's a little bit of a climb involved, but the gradient isn't too bad. The weather is a little bit warm, and there are some clouds gathering. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but there is a nice breeze blowing, so I think it has everything that we need for a good hike. Well, let's go. Okay, making our way up Baker Lake Trail, and just a steady incline the whole way so far. Some switchbacks. It's a little tough when you get out here in the sun. It warms up pretty good. The views are starting to open up a little bit. So far in just this short distance, I think I've seen about 20 or 30 turkeys, and I don't know what you call a baby turkey, but quite a few of those running around up here. Continuing to gain altitude. My lungs can feel it, and my legs are starting to burn a little bit. And nice thing is we're in a little more shade on this part of the trail, but could use a little breeze. So I think we'll stop here in a little bit, take a pack off break. Sounds good. Well, I made it to camp and fell short of making it to Baker Lake, but there was some thunder in the area and it was getting dark and I was exhausted, so I decided to stop and set camp. I've got my hammock set up here and starting to get some things ready to eat for dinner. Well, it's time to see how the cheese spread turned out. Looks pretty good. It's good. A lot better than last time. Packet Gourmet, by mistake, said they had 4 ounces of water. And we made it, Cheryl and I did, on a trip a while back. It made cheese soup. So we wrote the company, and they thanked us for letting them know. And as a thank you, they sent us enough to get 2 more packages. Got my avocado here. Tastes pretty good. Probably gonna eat a moth here in a second. Good morning. It is August 2nd, 2018, and day 2 of our trip. And woke up this morning to the sound of rain. Just a light shower, but I've been warm and dry under the rain fly, so that worked well. And decided to get up, have a little coffee, and then make some breakfast. And plan out the day. Nothing like a little tree bark in your taster's choice. Well, before I break camp, I thought I'd give you a little tour of the campsite and my setup, and show you the sleep system I've got here. This is an REI hammock. It's got a built-in bug net. The tarp is actually an upgrade. The one that comes with the hammock is a little bit short, and I was glad to have the extra overhang on the ends early this morning during the showers. And let you look inside here. One nice thing about a hammock is that it also doubles as a place to sit. Very comfortable. I bring a little piece of this Reflectix here. It's kind of a little ground cloth. It also is helpful on cold nights, helps you insulate, put it underneath your air mattress. But this is where I can sit and relax. And the air mattress I tried out, although it was a little bit heavy, it's got some features on it that are kind of nice. These these wings on the side help insulate your arms, and air mattresses I've used in the past don't have that, and usually the back of my arms, because they're in contact with the nothing but the hammock here on the side, they get pretty cold. And they've also got them back here for your legs, but I don't really feel like that's needed. And made by Climate, I think is Hammock V insulated, so the little bit of insulation. Really didn't need too much insulation last night. And then my sleeping bag is a Agnes Lost Ranger, rated to 15, but I'd probably rate it down to about 25 for comfortable sleeping. But there's the setup, and beautiful little spot here, and about time to pack it all up and hit the trail. Okay, been on the trail about 20-30 minutes, and it's starting to open up here a little bit. Give you a view. Beautiful country. So keep on going. So far the rain's holding off. That's good. And seems like I'm getting a little bit more sunshine. A little's okay. A lot, not so much. My guess is we're probably at about 10,000 feet, or very close to it. And I can't see it, but you might be able to see some trees up there. We've got a final set of switchbacks up there, and when we reach the top of that, that should be putting us in view of Baker Lake. So I'm guessing about another hour and a half, and we should be there. Well, I've reached the switchbacks just below Baker Lake, and the elevation and the steep grade slowing me way down. So, and the sun's coming out, which is good. I'm glad I didn't have to put on the rain gear, but it's kind of warming things up a little bit too. So there we go, around the corner. One more switchback down. Decided to try a little off-trail navigation. We're getting pretty close to Baker Lake, and maybe saving a little bit of time, maybe a couple of tenths of miles. So, see how it goes. Give you a view of the scenery here. Good news is the showers seem to have dissipated. We've got some blue sky and nice cool breeze up here, which is very refreshing. This is Baker Lake. Found a nice campsite here at Baker Lake. I've got my hammock set up and my tarp, and I'm getting ready to have some ramen, kind of a late afternoon snack, and then sit back and take in the view. Well, I am waiting out a pretty strong thunderstorm. Hoping this tarp will hold up. It's been tested. Got some wind gusts up around 40 miles an hour, I'd say, maybe higher. Well, I don't know if you can tell how wet everything is out there, but I just sat through a rather severe storm, and thankfully the tarp held up even during some really strong gusts that blew a little bit of rain up underneath, but didn't get anything too terribly wet. Sleeping bag's dry, and now that that's over, I've got some chicken and dumplings here from Packet Gourmet. Looking forward to that. We'll have that and then call it a day. Good morning. It's day 4 of my trip here in Great Basin National Park. I've been camped here at Baker Lake the last couple of nights. But today I'm going to break camp early and head up over the pass by Pyramid Peak, hopefully before it gets too warm. And then from there, going to drop down to Johnson Lake and possibly camp there for the night. So, last night had a beautiful, beautiful show of stars. No clouds, and I was able to capture some pictures of the Milky Way. I'm excited to see how those turn out. But for now, I'm just going to relax, enjoy my taster's choice with a little tree bark in it, and take in the scenery. Okay, we're all ready to go. Packed up, water bottles full, and take one last look at Baker Lake. Plan for today is to hike up over the pass over here to the left, and you might be able to see it right up through the trees here. And once we're over the pass, we'll drop down to Johnson Lake and take a look at that, possibly camp there. So here is the challenge today. We're going to be hiking up to this little pass right here, and on the other side of that we should be able to see Johnson Lake. And if we feel good enough, we might come up here to Pyramid Peak, which is about another 500 or 600 feet of climbing. So we'll see how it goes. There's a view back from what I've just climbed. Baker Lake is up in that area, right up in there. I came through the forest area, then across this, and right up through here. And not much further to go. All right, not too much further here, and we'll have reached the pass. And we get there, I'll be ready for a nice long break. It's been quite a push. Not sure if you can hear me above the wind, but I've started to climb up Pyramid Peak, and got some strong gusts up around probably 40-50 miles an hour. So just have to make sure of my footing, and I think it'll be all right. This is the view from Pyramid Peak in Great Basin National Park, a little over 11,900 feet. This is Wheeler Peak, a little over 13,000 feet. And if you look carefully, you can see a small lake down there. That's where I camped last night. That is Pyramid Peak, which I just came down from, and now I'm taking the trail down a rather steep descent to Johnson Lake. Well, I had to put the good camera away because as I began my descent down toward Johnson Lake, it got a little hazardous. And we started right up from that tree line right up there and worked our way down, sliding in some places. But the path is leveled out, and we are almost to Johnson Lake. That is Pyramid Peak, and I just came down that ridge right to that low point. Well, I found a campsite and the light's getting low, so I thought I'd let you see where I'm staying for the night. The camera battery's getting low and my batteries are low. Went and got some water filtered out of the lake, so we're set for the night, and get the hammock set up. Found a couple of trees that are about the right distance, and all looks good. Good morning. It's day number 5 of our trip to Great Basin National Park. Getting ready to have some coffee and some breakfast. My wife Cheryl put together some scrambled eggs with some bacon bits. And I'm going to add some leftover smoked cheddar jack cheese from last night to kind of kick it up. So that ought to be good. And then we'll get packed up and head out. Well, we're all packed up, ready to get the final leg of this journey underway. So let's go. This will be the last little climb of the trip, and we're kind of headed to that little low point right there on that ridge, and from there on it'll be downhill to the trailhead. Seems like there's a lot of smoke, very hazy. I just broke over the ridge. And that is Pyramid Peak. It's all downhill from here. Coming up on a trail junction, and I think I'm going to go left. That should take me down to a pretty good stream and find a place down there and some shade to rest. Take a little break, hydrate up. Let's see what we've got here. South Fork, Baker. I believe that's what I want. So, check the map here. That's a good sight. Great hike. Now it's time for a hot shower, a soft bed, and one other thing. Oh yeah, cheeseburger.